Welcome.
Oh boy. Welcome to Stay of HOMEKINS.
This is the Stay of HOMEKINS January 2025 edition. We are your hosts. I am Janie.
What is Stay of HOMEKINS?
Well, it is a podcast.
So you're Janie.
Yeah.
I'm Paul.
Yeah. We're a married couple.
We live in Los Angeles.
And we have recording equipment.
That's
and
right.
this is our after dinner. Once a month after dinner conversation.
That's correct. Otherwise, we don't see each other or talk to each other. We're in an experimental marriage, and it's working great.
We're this, I don't know what we are. We're a couple in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
We're just people.
I'm Janie,
God
that's Paul.
Damn, we're just
I'm an
people.
actor sometimes. He's a fucking comedian.
Sometimes.
And we are coming at you on this Friday night from Los Angeles, which has been burning all week.
We're coming to you live from hell.
From hell.
It's
From
a very scary
fires.
time. Very
LA
scary
is
time.
on fire. It is a heartbreaking situation.
Yeah. We know several people who have lost their homes.
Everything.
I cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine that feeling. It's so horrible.
It's the death toll stands at 11 tonight, and there's just no way that is the final count. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, the destruction that they said they mapped the fire. I heard on the news as of today, the fires combined burned a total of an area mileage. I don't know my words. Okay, the size
You're so close.
The size of San Francisco.
Yes, you did it.
Or two Manhattans.
You brought it home. Two Manhattans.
Two Manhattans burned.
That sounds more impressive.
Because it's two.
Especially
'Cause
because
it's two?
San Francisco already had a big fire.
They did have a big fire.
Yeah.
In their history.
Yeah.
In their DNA.
Part of the ongoing rivalry between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Manhattan has had some fires.
They've had some fires.
Triangle Shirtwaist.
Yeah,
Factory.
but they have not had like a citywide fire like that.
No, they don't have the foliage that we have
True.
that creates fuel.
True.
So we've had a couple of years of robust rains in Los Angeles. And those robust rains have brought beautiful growth and foliage and helps with the water supply. We kind of got out of like a drought situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cut to an extreme dry, no rain situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This whiplash effect is what they're calling it. It's like a whiplash climate effect.
Yes.
So this dryness has now dried out all of this lush vegetation, which we cherished and felt wonderful about.
Cherished it.
And now it has become lethal.
Yeah.
Lethal.
And
we had a Santa Ana wind. We're still in the middle, actually, of the Santa Ana wind event.
Yes.
That was an unprecedented. I mean, on Tuesday night, there were gusts of 100 miles per hour.
It was really nuts.
I am from like a hurricane place. 100 miles per hour. Now, sustained winds is different. Okay. Still, I don't want to be in them.
No.
Like 100 miles, maybe we should have just evacuated.
Here's what I will say.
For the winds,
Here's
me
what
and you, because
we should have evacuated at the wind.
when the wind happened,
Like,
that was like before we knew the fire was gonna destroy entire
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
And look, we live in a place where frequently there are fires in the
Yes,
the under the vegetation, the brush, whatever you want to call it. It gets dry here, and
does. We
it
live
happens
in
a
a
lot.
desert climate.
We have not seen anything like this.
no, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane.
And it's really scary, guys. It's really scary. We've
And
had suitcases by the door
they're still
for
by
a
the
couple
door.
days. Yeah.
So we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We are very fortunately safe so far. So a lot of
We're
people
very lucky so far.
Some people checked in. Well, a lot of people checked in. What's
Yeah.
going on? The air quality is terrible, terrible. And we're not out of the woods.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. It's leading up to this. tons, and I'm sure you got them on your phone, tons of high alert, like, warnings. Red flag warnings, high fire risk, highest fire risk, like, that they can, like, issue. Like, for days leading up to the huge windstorm on Tuesday night. Please don't do this or that or whatever. Now, I guess, like, a lot of forest fires or whatever, whatever you want to call them, because Catherine was here today. She she baked us some sourdough bread and she came by. But like, we looked it up, but like 90% of forest fires are man created.
Yeah.
And, whether by accident or on purpose or whatever, like, yeah, but I guess I was just seeing that the Eaton fire, which is to the east of us, may have been, it started by power lines.
Yeah.
Like some downed power lines.
They
in the wind.
found some,
in the wind. There was brush underneath. Yeah.
They found some footage of when it was had just started.
Sparked. Yeah.
And it's
like to see that tiny fire
so
start
wild.
On that video and knowing that it's burned like 30,000 acres or whatever the fuck it's burned and an entire neighborhood of Altadena from that one fire, from that one downed power line in the wind situation was like shocking.
Yeah.
Because you just see like that one spot fire and it engulfs like an entire...
It's just unfathomable.
It's crazy.
And it's so... Because it's nature, because it's fire, it's so scary. It's so scary. And you just feel really helpless because even the firefighters, it's such a gigantic thing. And with the wind, they're battling these elements. It's so much at the same time.
Man is no match for nature.
It's
just
honey,
not. I mean, like
that's the fucking truth.
No, but it's like arrogant to think like. Well, not. I guess it's not arrogant. Like we have to protect ourselves for safety, but I don't know. I mean, it felt like once it started and those winds were doing what they were doing on Tuesday and Wednesday, there was they couldn't get in the air to like drop water on top.
Yeah.
And, I don't know why I kept thinking about this, but I had recently, because when I was home in November, my mom and I watched, I might have even referenced this on the podcast. I can't remember. We watched this 4-part docuseries on the tsunami.
Oh, yeah.
In 2004. And there's so much footage that they stitched together of the tsunami because it was like on some multiple coasts,
Yeah.
And the fatality count was so high. They had no warning. They had no warning system in place. And this one guy, he was like in this warning, he was like in Hawaii, like monitoring, I guess, like volcanic activity in the ocean. And he saw it about to happen. And there was like no way to how do you get that out?
Yeah, because it's not like, this is going to happen in 3 days.
No, it's like
this is happening now.
20, yeah,
this is going to happen in moments.
Yeah, in moments, you're like, I just kept thinking of, for some reason, the tsunami was something I kept thinking about with these fires.
I get that.
And how like when nature like rears itself in this way. And I was also thinking the communities in Asheville and North Carolina, the Highlands of North Carolina, because they were not expecting those floods from Hurricane Helene and everything, and those decimated towns. Yeah. And they had a high casualty count as well. I guess, the fact that people were able to escape what they could see coming toward them was in some ways, something we have to cling to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't trust that 11 is going to be the casualty count. Like that's impossible.
No, I would. Yeah, there's no way. But honestly, I'm surprised that it's not more. You know?
You mean at this stage?
At this stage, yeah. I'm surprised it's not more at this stage.
I don't know.
I think they will find more people, of course. But I am surprised that, and I'm relieved that it's not more at this stage.
But they're definitely talking about loved ones who cannot be contacted on the news now.
Yeah.
But there are so many layers to this, like the climate crisis and just, not heating. Because also, like, Catherine said that she kind of heard that the Palisades fire might have been someone, like, doing a barbecue in their backyard or something, or doing a fire. And I was like, that's insane. Because that's what I was saying is, like, all of the warnings leading up to this.
Yeah. They try, man. They try. There's fucking agencies that are trying to tell you, look, this is the situation we're in, so don't do this.
Man, when there's
in this time period, don't do this. And then there's still people that are like, but I gotta do it.
I don't know. Like, when I'm at home and there's a hurricane coming, like, everybody knows. And they're watching the news and they're doing the thing.
Of course.
They're gassing up their cars. They're doing, boarding up the window, whatever.
But that's different than...
And they're putting water in the bathtub.
That's different than people not doing a thing that they've been asked not to do, which in any kind of situation like this, there's always some assholes that are like, I can do it and get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like texting and driving where they're like, no, but I know you shouldn't do it, but... I
hate that so much.
I can do this.
I fucking hate that so much. People texting and driving. Because now you don't have to do that. You can, call out to your device and say, tell so-and-so I'm on my way or whatever.
One time I was driving and, I dictate text in the car all the time. And I feel like I've gotten really good at it. Like inserting parentheses and things like that. I'm a very good dictating texting person. But one time, sometimes the phone won't connect to the car properly. And so I just held the phone and I dictated a text to the phone directly. But I was still using my car dictation voice. Oh no, I was doing a voice memo.
Okay.
But I was leaving it like this. So I'll be there in 10 minutes.
And it was a voice memo?
Yeah, it was a voice memo.
And they were like, why are you so angry?
Exactly. I was still using the dictation voice.
Wait, can I tell people how the week started?
Please.
So guys, Paul he'd been instructed by his doctor for a few years now, because this is what happens when you turn a certain age.
Yeah, he said you have to stop being so sexy
and start being real and start getting real.
And start getting real.
You're supposed to get a colonoscopy at a certain age.
And I was past due, by the way.
Sure, but I mean, you did the best you could. You know what I'm saying?
Best I tried to do one at home. We'll never get the deposit back on that camera.
Oh my God. And so he scheduled his colonoscopy for January 6th.
Yes, that's my way of celebrating that very special day in our nation's history.
Oh my God. So, he had to get his Capitol stormed. Yeah. That was a Catherine joke. I have to give credit where credit is due.
Good work. Good work all around.
And then I'm going to turn this off just for a minute.
Sure, I'll turn it off.
It's starting to get a little warm.
We're turning off the fireplace.
Just for a moment.
Can you believe we have a fireplace?
It's fake fire, guys.
We have a gas fireplace.
It's not real.
Well, it's real fire.
Yeah, but we're not burning.
It's fake wood.
We're not allowed to burn anything.
No.
But we can off gas, natural gas, I guess.
It's so true.
Yeah, just to clarify, we're not breaking the rules.
We're not insane people.
And so I was like, okay, so on Sunday, I was like, oh, you have to do your prep. Because, you'd never done it before. And I had to do it because I had to get diagnosed for an issue I had. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, it sucks. The prep sucks. Because it's dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you know? and because I was like telling him, I was like, there's going to be a moment, like a dark night of the soul moment where you're literally like, what the fuck is happening to my body? But you said you didn't feel like it affected you that way.
No, what happened was what I was told was going to happen. So when it was happening, I was like, well, this is happening.
Like,
you have to drink
remember, like,
this.
The first time I had it, I was like calling Samantha afterwards and I was like, what is going on? Like, I cannot, like, can't be real. Like, what's going on with me right now cannot be real. Mm-hmm. Like, I was shocked. Mm-hmm. And okay, so there you were given the split prep, which is not the preferable prep. Guys, if you get a colonoscopy, try to request not the split prep.
Yeah.
And we warned you, we said, try to request not the split prep. And you're like, I can drink it. I can drink this disgusting shit.
Right. Which I did. It was disgusting. That honestly was the worst part of it.
Well, not only that, the worst part was that you had to wake up at 2 a.m. to drink the second part of it.
Yeah, because, okay, so
there's a scheduling
if
issue.
I had known what the prep involved, I would have scheduled the colonoscopy for a different time.
Yes, because you had to do the second part of the split prep like 6 hours before the procedure.
Yes, which meant my procedure was at 9. I had to be there at 8. So the first one I had to drink at between 3 and 6 p.m.
Yeah.
The day before. And the next one I had to drink at 1 a.m.
Yeah, and then you don't go right to bed at 1 a.m.
No, you don't.
More stuff happens.
Yeah, more stuff happened. And it continued to happen throughout the night. Like, I slept horribly.
Of course.
And
but what was so funny too is Sunday was the Golden Globes, and I was like, babe, you can like prep your. We can watch the Globes while you're doing your colonoscopy prep.
That did sound fun. The stuff, I can't describe the taste of that stuff that you have to drink. It was like nothing else I've ever experienced.
I'm not doing that. When I do mine, I'm not doing that one.
It was fucking
no fucking
crazy.
way. I'm not doing that one.
Crazy.
No way. I'm going to request a more palatable prep.
Yeah. What do you give babies for their colonoscopies? Let me have that. You can make baby aspirin. Why can't you make baby colonoscopy prep?
You can make yourself drink anything, and I can't. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I just do the hold my breath thing. I take a deep breath.
I can't do that.
I shut off the valve to my nose. No. And then I drink it down. But even that, even without like having full access to my taste sense.
Yeah.
I knew whatever I could feel on my tongue was like, this is bad fucking
like a
news.
weird, like numbing, like chemical shit.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
Oh my God.
And then immediately trying to drink, apple juice or whatever.
I mean, the good news is that they were like, oh, you're all normal. Come see you in 10 years. Mm-hmm. Come see us in 10 years or whatever. But I was just laughing because like you were like exhausted from like the night before. Mm-hmm. Then I like ran you over there, picked you up, mm-hmm. blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, can I say something that happened when I came to pick you up? Because it did make me laugh.
Yeah.
So they call they're like, oh, he's going to be ready in half an hour. And I'm like, okay. So I go back over there and and on the phone, I'm like, can I just pull up to the front or do I have to come up and retrieve him? And they're like, no, you have to come up to suite 210. And I'm like, okay. So
well, don't blow up my spot. Yes, guys, I went to suite 210.
So I like pull up, I had to pay a meter. I go to the front door. They're like, the entrance is on the side. So I'm like running around and Paul's like, hey, where are you? Like, are you coming? And I'm like, yes. I was like, they called me. I was like, by the way, you have my location dot in the palm of your hand 24/7. Like you can see I'm on the fucking freeway or whatever.
Sheena.
So I get there. So he's like, oh, I'll come down to you. And I'm like texting and I'm like, no, they said I had to come up. And he's like, well, no one's here. And this is as I'm walking on the elevator.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I'm getting on the elevator. And so you were obviously getting on the other elevator.
Yeah.
And I was to come down. And
I was like walking. It was like a Frasier.
It was like a farce. So, and I'm walking on a different elevator to go up. So then I was like, oh, well, never mind. I'll get off the or I'll come back down. Like I got off on 2 and you're like, I'll come back down. And then you were like, oh no, I'll meet you on 2. So I walked back out of the elevator and you were just there.
Yeah.
And I screamed.
I forgot that you screamed.
Like I walked off I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but I walked off the elevator on 2. I walked off the elevator on 2 and he was not there. And he said, never mind, I'll meet you on 2. You must have been getting off of the elevator.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Wait.
So they tell you you're not allowed to drive yourself. Somebody has to come get you.
Yeah.
It's very serious, blah, blah, blah. They have to check, they verify the number, all this stuff. And so when I was done, first of all, I want to say, I was so excited about propofol.
Yeah.
I thought this is going to be awesome.
People love it.
People love it.
It's nothing. You're asleep and it's over.
Famously, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
People love it. I don't get it. Okay.
But you don't get any kind of fun, druggy feeling at all. It is just you immediately go to sleep.
You go to blackness and then a minute later you wake up and it's been 30 minutes.
Exactly. And it's like, I feel totally normal.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't get any kind of high from this at all.
Yeah, it's not laughing. It's not nitrous at the fucking... The nitrous is... Oh,
nitrous is great.
Nitrous is the shit.
So they give me my exit folder. I get dressed, I give me my folder, and I sort of walk out like they're done with me, right?
Yeah.
Everyone walks away.
Yeah.
And so I get up, got my clothes on, get up from the bed, and like they give me the folder. I'm like, okay, and I start going for the door. A nurse that I talked to earlier said, bye, have a good day. And I was like, okay. And then there's
I didn't know this part of it because I was told to come up.
There's a little bench opposite the elevators. And I guess I said, I guess I'll just wait here for Janie. And then we were texting, you weren't quite there yet. And I thought,
I was looking for the door and running around.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just go down to the street. There was another person came into the lobby, hit the elevator. I got on with them. They were going up. I didn't realize they were going up.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well, they just went up one floor.
Because you're probably fuzzy from the propofol even.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
But you also hadn't eaten in a 24-hour...
Yes. So I take a ride up one floor. We're texting.
Yeah.
So then I go back down to the second floor.
Okay.
You see me, you scream.
What happened was, what you didn't know was I walked out on the second floor. It was totally empty. And you said, oh no, I'll meet you on the second floor. As I was walking back in the elevator. So I literally turned right back around and it was as if you had like vaporized in front of my face. Like a ghost. Like I heard, like it seemed like an abandoned place.
There's nobody else around.
No one. And then you were just standing there. You're like, oh, I'll come meet you in a second. So I turned back around and like you're standing there. Like I didn't even hear an elevator ding or anything.
There was no ding.
There was no ding. And I went, ah! And then Paul was like, Jesus, like, oh my God. And I was like, where did you come from? Like I literally was like, where did you fucking come from? And then, wait, but then I was like asking you your experience. And then you told me, you're like, yeah, I went into this room and then they came up to me and they said, just so you know, there's going to be a nurse chaperone in the room because your backside is exposed. And I was like, they gave you an intimacy coordinator?
Yeah, they said They said she's going to be an advocate for you, because if people are around and everything.
Because no one can.
What's happening in this hospital where people are just wandering around?
No, shit happens. Shit happens when you're under. Shit does happen when you're under.
I guess
when you're under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this woman was there to say, "Hey,
I'm the intimacy coordinator to make sure there's no intimacy. No intimacy is taking place." She was the anti-intimacy coordinator.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I did get to look at the pictures.
They send you home with the photos, which we assume are yours. They could just
That's a good question. I should do a Google image search.
How would you know to make sure that they aren't like stock footage?
They did have watermarks on them. that said Getty Images.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Stupid.
To put Getty Images on my
colonoscopy That photos. Is actually funny. Or Shutterstock.
Oh, Shutterstock.
Not even Getty.
Well, Shutterstock would be, you could find that on Shutterstock, but Getty Images does not have colonoscopy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You
okay.
see what I'm saying.
It's like there's a headshot and then there's your colonoscopy.
Yeah. Right.
Put it on IMDb.
Yeah. Put it That's right.
So anyway, so his colonoscopy happens and he's like exhausted because he's up all night, tired, blah, blah, blah. And then like hell unleashes on Los Angeles. And I like on Wednesday, we were deciding whether or not to voluntarily evacuate. Mm-hmm. I walked out of the other room and I was like, isn't it funny that
I'd already voluntarily evacuated.
You'd already voluntarily evacuated. And so I walk out and I said, isn't it funny that this week started with your first colonoscopy?
Yeah. We're not even in
like what?
We haven't even finished 2 weeks of 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not to mention 2025 started weird too because there was that terrifying and awful, tragic terrorist attack in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And there were fatalities. And then there was a coordinated, or maybe not coordinated, I don't know, like terrorist attack or where the Cybertruck blew up in Vegas in front of the Trump Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is not a good omen of things to come, of what's going on. And
the world is just,
the world is too much.
It's absolutely insane.
The world is too much right now. Like it's just, yeah. And then there was like, yeah, I don't know. So that's where we are. With some of our friends did voluntarily evacuate in zones that were not, they were on the edges. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, some people evacuated because
they took their kids and dogs. I mean, I get it because the air is terrible here.
Yeah, we knew a lot of people that evacuated
like children to
get
sick from the air.
Yeah. And we've been lucky so our hearts really go out to the people.
So much could change. I mean, like it's not even. It feels like jinxing it to say we're lucky, but saying lucky so far makes sense because it's like, yeah,
because we're not getting complacent or comfortable. Like,
no, but I packed my evacuation bag and I didn't have enough clean clothes and I had to raid my evacuation bag. And you were like, what the? I guess I need to do laundry or something.
How much? Maybe you need to do laundry. Yeah.
But we didn't want to use the water because they're using the water, or we were like conserving.
Yeah.
I guess I could take dirty clothes to an evacuation site and use that water. Or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
I know.
I don't even know what's going on. I feel very exhausted. We've been like, it's been hard to sleep because at any moment they might call you to leave. So we've had the phone by our head. We haven't had wine. This is the first glass of wine I've had in like 8 days or some shit.
We have, we've just been watching the news all day and looking at that fucking Watch Duty app.
What is it called?
Watch Duty.
Watch Duty app. Yeah, that's an app where they tell you what the fires are doing.
Yeah, there's a little map and it gives you indications of how well they're contained or not contained and what the evacuation orders are and all that. So
this is
it's been kind of being stressed all day and then
heartbroken,
just
too.
Exhausted. Yeah, stressed, scared, sad.
Sad for LA. I mean, I love LA and if I lost my neighborhood, I would be devastated. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to lose the place you live, which is horrifying and obviously very dysregulating and removes so much comfort and identity and familiarity. But then, like, to lose an entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about third spaces, schools, churches, grocery stores.
Yeah, it's unimaginable. We have friends who live in Altadena, and they had to evacuate very suddenly, and thankfully their house was spared so far. Their house is still in the clear.
Yeah.
but
their whole neighborhood is gone.
You know, all the businesses they used to go to, local bars and shit like that are gone. And you really, even more than your own space, I think you realize how important those places are.
Yes.
Because that makes up your world. Well, your home is your little refuge, you know?
That's community.
That's community, yeah.
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 Yeah, your home is your refuge.
Yeah. But when you go out in the world, you go to places that are comforting, that you know you're going to see people that you know
Interact
you're going to be welcomed
with people,
there.
connect with people.
Yeah. Even, honest to God, even just the shit you never go into but just see every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like some weird little store that's like, I have no reason to ever go in there, but I don't want it to burn to the ground, you know? I don't want to not see that little store.
And so many people, when you talk about businesses being gone, it's not just business owners that have lost their livelihood, but all of those business owners employ people.
Yeah.
So many people who have jobs in those businesses are now without jobs.
Yeah. And those businesses contribute to the neighborhood. They keep the neighborhood alive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's such a
horrifying tragedy,
time.
and it's hard for me to even. I'm still in the fog of war of it, and so, you know, I don't know. I'm exhausted. We haven't slept much because we've had to keep the phone by our heads, and then just seeing these stories come out of this, have been like, just. I don't know. There are no words, honestly. Like, we know people who've lost their homes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've reached out a little bit, but it feels like pointless because it's like, there are no words.
I know. I
mean, I guess just like the reaching out is like, so they don't feel so shocked.
Yeah.
And
it's
to
tough.
kind of ground them to what's happening.
Yeah. You just want to let people know that they're loved. But it is hard in grief when people are going through grief and you're not, to know when is the appropriate time to just say, I mean, honestly, the thing that I've arrived at, and I got to this through my mom dying when my mom passed away. The thing that meant so much to me was when somebody would just text me and say, I'm thinking of you. You know, that meant the world to me. That somebody was like keeping me in their thoughts and knew that it made me feel less alone. Somebody knew that I was in pain. You know?
I feel like with because I have some friends that are grieving other things right now. Like my friend lost her mom at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I just am like, you know, hey, I'm thinking of you. You don't have to respond.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to feel like people have to respond, but it's like, she did respond like right away. Like she was willing. She was like, I'm like in so much pain. I'm like, And I'm like, that's fine to hear too. Like I can hold space for that, obviously. But it was like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. People always have these guidelines of like what to say or what not to say. Like, don't say this or don't do that. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like if you're well-intentioned and you're acting organically, like who cares?
Honestly, to me, like you don't have to respond is such a key part of that idea, is that you're letting people know, I'm not trying to put another thing on you.
Right.
I'm not asking
for anything.
I know that you are fucking hanging on by a thread. You're doing what you can do. This is not a request for anything. This is purely just to let you know that I'm here. I'm on your side. I'm in your corner. I'm thinking of you. I'm aware that you are going through something, you know.
So many people reached out to me these past 3 or 4 days because they were just like, oh my God, are you safe? Like, it's horrific. What we're seeing, are you safe? And like, yeah, at one point I did get weary because I was on such high alert and I'm reading about I'm doing like 25 things at once, like packing a bag, you know, whatever. But I never felt like mad or anything. I just like copied and pasted. I came up with like a stock answer.
Me too, yeah.
Like, we're safe. This is where we are. This is our plan.
Yeah.
You know, here's how we're feeling. We're hanging, you know, we're totally like okay or whatever. thank you, or whatever. And so I just like copied and pasted it to everybody's thing. Mm-hmm. And although then I kept like tailoring it because I was like, well, this person, you know, like, oh, let me say this about something, you know, or whatever. But yeah, like I never
like doing a cameo. You try to put in a personal thing.
I just did a cameo for everyone. Hey guys, I hear it's your birthday. Yeah, I mean, it was tiring, but it wasn't like everything was tiring.
Yeah.
Like every single thing was tiring. Yeah. Or it, you know, tonight's the first night we were kind of having a minute.
Yeah.
Because the winds have died. The winds have calmed down.
We feel like we're in a place right now of relative safety.
I think it's the eye of the hurricane.
Yes,
this is the eye of the hurricane.
Exactly. And then we'll see what the weekend brings because the wind is going to be coming back.
Winds tomorrow night, Saturday night in the middle of the night, and then Monday, Tuesday, some wind events. By Thursday, some precipitation is coming. I can't believe I know the weather as well. By Thursday, some precipitation might come, and that's helpful, you know.
Winds from the east, mist coming in, like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put my finger on what lies in store.
What's happening right now?
But I think what's to happen all happened before. I think I got those lyrics wrong.
What the fuck is that?
That is, of course, Bert the Chimney Sweep from Mary Poppins.
Wait, so they were talking about LA burning? Like in
specifically.
Like in the Octavia Butler story that was going viral that she predicted in 2025 that LA would burn, which if that's true, I need to be reading Octavia Butler to find out what's going to happen tomorrow because what the fuck, you know? Anywho, we should take a break.
Yeah.
And we will be back hopefully with a little more, I don't know, lightness?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Hilarity?
Probably hilarity is the best term.
I don't know what we're capable of tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We'll see you on the flip-flop.
But please, come back. And we're back.
And during the break,
there were more evacuations issues.
More evacuations.
In the 5 minutes that we took to take a break, we looked at our phone. I can't believe we looked away from our phone because we were doing this podcast. By the way, I was going to mention, our Southern Charm episode recaps that we're doing behind the bonus segment of weekendwater.substack.com is coming one day late.
Yes.
Because tonight is our regular episode, but
this is all we can handle right now.
So anyway, we looked away from our phone and we thought we could take a minute because I thought I had just said it was the eye of the hurricane, which I thought the eye of the hurricane was going to last until tomorrow fucking night.
I know. I thought we were at least going to get
like a good night's sleep.
A Friday night.
So we looked at the phone and they've issued more evacuations north and east of the Palisades fire, which is creeping into the valley, where a lot of our friends live. So I did just check in on a couple friends, and some were packing to get ready in case they're called.
Yes.
That's not going to be good.
Nope.
I can't believe this is still happening.
I know.
It's like too much. The world is too much. So the world is already horrific anyway.
Yeah.
But to add like climate crisis mixed with like, I guess, like man versus nature. Am I becoming Werner Herzog?
Maybe that's why I was attracted to you. Honey, because I knew this was going to happen.
That I was going to like cling to this man versus nature thing.
I saw it in you that you had the potential to become a Lady Herzog.
A Lady Herzog. I mean, it is this fascinating. I've never really given it much thought because I've always had a healthy fear of nature. Like when I swim in the ocean, like I know, like avoid the currents, like avoid, I don't have this. I don't have like a conquering nature inclination in me.
No.
Like I'm not looking to free climb.
No.
I'm not looking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
If
I'm
anything, I am trying to submit to nature at all times.
I
Please don't
am,
hurt me, nature.
Like, I'm nature's bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I get on all fours for nature.
That's right.
Like, I don't.
Okay. I flip over my back, let nature rub my belly.
Nature, like, I don't know if it's because I grew up in hurricane zones or what. In the ocean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I thought we were going to have like a more hilarious second half.
Well, we can talk about fun things.
Can we?
Yeah, we can, because not everybody. Look, we've tried to distract ourselves with various things.
I am like, I'm hanging on by a thread. Like this whole thing has like, it's been challenging.
Traders is back.
Traders is back, but I can barely stay awake to watch it because I'm so fucking tired. And then I had to wake up and say what happened in the last 10, 15 minutes of Traders that I fell asleep during.
Traders is all reality show people this year, which I think is better than the mix of regular people and reality show people, but not to me as good as regular people.
I think all regular people.
But what's funny about the reality show shit is that the cast is from a million different shows
that some
right?
we've never heard of.
There's Survivor. There's Real Housewives. There's So many different housewives.
Real estate one. Sunset.
Selling Sunset.
Something about Big Brother. Like
Big Brother's another one.
Yeah.
What's his name? Zac Efron's brother from that 2-season Iceland show that Zac Efron
I never
made.
even heard of that in my life. So I was like, I didn't know he had a brother.
Yeah.
I didn't know what is their connection to Iceland. Mm-hmm. Don't know.
There's drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, yes.
There's a guy who's related to the royals. He's a fifth cousin of King Charles.
He's intriguing to me. Oh, and then Vanderpump. We can't forget Sandoval.
Oh, and of course Tom Sandoval, who really is not popping on this show, and people don't talk to him that much.
People don't
like him.
Well, there's someone who is a friend of Ariana's.
Yes, the Selling Sunset gal.
Who is and they sat them next to each other, I think, on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
So that they would be. Alan Cumming is outdoing himself, I will say.
He's fucking bringing it. He's bringing it. He's the best.
I think he won an Emmy for his hosting duties on this show.
I think so.
And it has given him even more zip.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to let you guys down. I'm not going to coast.
No, he's like, I am going to rise.
Yeah.
Even higher.
He's still quoting Shakespeare.
Even higher.
Outfits are great. He rules. He's the best.
His delivery is should be studied in hosting schools or something. Yeah, I don't know. I just yeah.
What's funny to me about the reality show people is there's an unmasking of a secret guest at the very beginning of the show. And
hopefully, I don't know, spoilers are about to happen, so.
No, I'm going to try not to spoil it. But it's so early on in the show. And also they announced all the people that were going to be on it already. So.
Okay.
But I'm not going to get into big spoilers. But so this person is standing there in a cloak when everybody first gets to the fucking castle.
Oh, right. Okay.
And there's a person standing there behind Alan. And they're like, who's that? Who's that? He's wearing a mask. And the person is told to come forward and reveal themselves. They take off the mask and the hood. And then it's just like this dude. And I'm like,
I have no idea who that person is.
But there's a big sting like, like you're supposed to be like oh my fucking God.
Like, I can't believe it's so-and-so.
They're asking you to keep track of so many different shows on Traders.
Yeah.
So that all these moments are big moments.
Like, I've watched, first of all, I don't even see a crossover with Traders and reality television.
No.
Because Traders to me is its own thing.
The closest thing.
It's a game show.
I can see a crossover with other game shows like Survivor or The Challenge. You know what I mean?
Okay. Or Amazing Race or something.
Yeah. Like that makes sense. It's a competition. You know what I mean?
It's a competition.
It is still weird that it's people whose whole thing is gaming.
I know, but
and people who are just famous for I'm rich.
It is weird because those other shows that you just named, like Survivor, Amazing Race, and whatever, like I think the contestants on those shows are regular people.
They're from all walks of life
that try to get on those shows.
Yeah.
So why would Traders not be that?
Yeah, I know.
Like consistently.
Yeah. Or why can't it be? I don't know. I guess because you have to have some people that are not going to be as good at gameplay to keep it like interesting and to make sure that some people lose, you know? Like, like consistently there's people that are flabbergasted that they are kicked off the show.
Yeah.
But it is funny that I am so out of touch with things like Survivor because I watched it early on. When it first started, I think I watched like the first 3 seasons or something.
I've never seen Survivor. I don't really.
You know what?
I'm not usually drawn to those competition shows. Like Traders had like a bit of comedy and drama to it.
It's campy.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what drew me to it.
Yeah. Survivor was really interesting though because you do, and is, I mean, it's still a show, but it's because you put yourself in that situation and say, could I do this? What would I do? How would I handle this?
Oh yeah, and I have friends that like wanted to be on Amazing Race.
Yeah. That stuff. Even though I don't watch it,
Mike White was on.
Yeah.
Amazing Race.
Even though I don't watch those shows, I get it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'm so out of touch with it that when they say somebody's like, "This guy won Survivor 3 times," I'm like, 3 times.
Is it if you win, do you go on to the next?
No, I think they bring people back and they have like an all-star game and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's like all champions competing against each other. But Big Brother, I forgot was a show. I just forgot about Big Brother. And there's 3 people from Big Brother on this season.
Yeah, I don't even know what the game is. I thought they lived in a house. I thought it was like more of a real world thing. I didn't know there was a game.
No, they live in a house and they have to eliminate people. You have to be the last person standing.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Here...
You don't know.
I know this is not our finest Stay of Homekins episode.
It's not our worst one either.
Isn't it?
I'm sure we've done one worse than this.
You think so?
Yeah. I know it in my heart.
I just don't have the
Well, don't say that. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't peel the curtain back that far.
I just
you're peeling the curtain back too far.
Okay, so then am I allowed to talk about my other escape show?
Yeah, of course.
Landman.
Here we go. Let's get into Landman.
Are y'all watching Landman? Are y'all watching Landman? It is part of the Taylor Sheridan verse, which, by the way, I consume a lot of it.
You really do. You really do.
I have like a Taylor Sheridan thing. He has me hooked on his unfettered like television making. Like his shit would not fly kind of like it only flies because they are like you can do whatever you want.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true.
I feel like other television writers don't get to do
what makes it interesting.
Whatever they want.
What makes it interesting is that he gets no notes and can do whatever he wants.
It seems like he gets no notes.
But it doesn't necessarily make it good.
Here's why I like it, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, tell me.
If I'm coming at his whatever from an actor point of view, and I'm just looking at it as like an actor playground, it looks like a very satisfying actor's playground.
I'm sure everybody's having a fucking ball.
Like they're shot great. The locations are fascinating and immersive.
Yeah.
Very wonderful actors. Like the casting, I love all of the casting, with the exception of like a few, and even then I'm like they're fine. You know what I mean? Like the young, and it's like Yeah, like they are like sometimes like crazy ass like waxing poetic about Americana.
Here's the characters.
Cowboy poetry.
Yeah, these are the characters.
It's a challenge to an actor.
These are the characters in all the Taylor Sheridan things. Right?
Oh my God! How can you speak on this? Because I'm the one who. Okay, you've just absorbed it through us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have your main guy who is like salt of the earth, fucking man's man, you know, but also he's like a decent person, but also I will murder you. We murder people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have
a charming toxic masculinity.
Yes.
There is a charming toxic who's kind of like, I'm saddled with this toxic masculinity.
Like, my dad was he could be really sweet, but he also murdered people.
He kills people.
You have your female character who is out of control.
Unhinged.
Yes. But she's also a real romantic.
But always narcissistic.
Yes. You don't know what kind of crazy shit she's going to do, but she really is a feeling romantic person.
It's sort of like, those are fun. The actresses that do those are fun.
Then you have loyal lieutenant who's just some dumb grunt who loves the boss, does whatever he says, gets in some wisecracks. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. But there's always like the group scenes, like in the bunkhouse and here in the oil house or whatever the fuck house.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense. There could be other houses.
Then you have doomed couple.
Toxic couples.
Toxic, but it's not. They're not toxic with each other necessarily. It's just that they're not. They shouldn't be together.
They spar,
and they're constantly under siege for their relationship.
They spar.
Yes. Then you have business dude is all about business.
Oh, definitely capitalism.
Yes.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
But then you have like the politics of America, like indigenous people or Mexican immigrants or any immigrants, really. Like if you watched 1880, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like you have sort of like the politics of the melting pot.
That's right. And you can give yourself a big old pat on the back.
I find that, sometimes it's handled interestingly. This is the other thing about the Taylor Sheridan verse is I think I keep watching because I don't always know what he's trying to say about America.
Yeah.
And maybe what he's ultimately trying to say about America is both fucked and a mess. And that is a premise that is fascinating and can be explored endlessly.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with that. I think what he's saying is America's for grown-ups. And you bet if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen because this is how it is. You got to be tough to survive in America and rise to the top and blah, blah, blah. So he has his characters that are like, you know, in Yellowstone, the fucking vegan lady or whatever.
Oh, right.
Also, the Landman starts. Is this in the first episode where Billy Bob has...
the pilot of Landman is insanity.
He has this speech because this lawyer...
That might have been episode
2. This lawyer was like 26 years old.
Who apparently makes $900.
Yeah, she's
like the best lawyer that's ever been created. And she literally looks like, you know, maybe she got out of college yesterday.
She looks younger than his daughter, who is supposed to be in high school.
Who is, by the way, played by a 28-year-old actor. She's 17-year-old character being played.
But that lets you have a lot of inappropriate exchanges between them, where she says something and he's like, "God damn it, honey!"
Billy Bob Thornton's
sounds
character.
Like Hank Hill.
I do like Billy Bob Thornton in this. I find him.
He's Billy Bobbin all over the place.
He's a very he's Billy Bobbin. He's Billy Bobbin.
But he goes in. She's talking to him about the lawyer's talking to him about, you know, how replacing fossil fuels and this can't
windmills
continue,
and
blah,
oil,
blah, blah.
you know, oil and
then he does this little fucking Aaron Sorkin speech. That's all about, oh yeah, it would be great to replace all this stuff, but what are you going to replace it with? We need this stuff. It's in everything. Plastic, talking about oil.
You need it to even make the batteries and the lithium.
Yeah.
It's in your hand. Did we talk about this in the last podcast? Now I feel like
I can't
are
remember
repeating
we
ourselves.
did. It haunts me to this day. But it's like, yeah, but you're the reason that we can't do any of these things.
I don't know. It's like
because you're the oil industry.
Because you're the guy.
Yes.
You represent the thing.
So he's like, hey, if you want to replace it, you better figure it out real quick. It's like people are trying to figure it out. You're actively preventing that from happening.
I feel like though, like that character is basically they're showing us that he's drinking the Kool-Aid of the religion of fossil fuels.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think that this is Taylor Sheridan trying to be like balanced?
I'm sure it's
like,
Taylor
hey, there's two sides to every story.
No, I'm sure it is. Well, I do know that this show is based on a podcast that was
of
like
the same name.
No, it was called something else.
Manland?
I don't know. Boomtown. I think it's called Boomtown, Texas Monthly Podcast. So, and I have not listened to I swear to God, I feel like I've had this conversation before and it was on this very podcast.
That could very well be. And apologies, guys. Maybe this is our worst episode.
Maybe the air quality has starved my brain of oxygen.
Maybe it's just when you're talking landman, this is what happens.
We recorded this. The last time we recorded, we were here in Los Angeles. So we had not watched much of Landman. We'd only watched like one.
Did we do one in South Carolina?
Yeah. No.
We just
did Southern Charm.
Yeah. Guys, look.
Anyway, my point is this also is like he has these like characters speechify things and some of them are on different sides of the aisle, I guess you could say, if there is an aisle.
Yeah.
I feel like though, like what's going to happen with the Taylor Sheridan verse is there's no aisle. Like it's going to have to like be post aisle so that everyone's on the side of like America is fucked and it's also
I don't think that's going to happen.
You think
I think it's going to be on the side of America is great because of these great fucked people. Because here's the thing.
Maybe.
The billionaires, the rich people who are destroying
they're always
things,
the murderers.
Or whatever,
They're the murderers.
They always get the last word. So that when somebody from the other side brings up these points about like, what about this, this, and this? And that's supposed to be like, I'm allowing you to say your piece.
It's David and Goliath all the time.
Yeah. And it's always Goliath saying, you don't have a rock right now. I'm going to fucking squash you.
Yeah, I don't know, but like to watch him get to where he's going with it is still soapy and like I don't know, and I just like the actors.
This shit is watchable. No, I'm not trying to put you on the defensive. I'm just saying this is my view of this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to Taylor Sheridan you.
No, I guess I just am sort of like fascinated by how he's made this his thematic sort of like television empire.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like if I were to be, because I have like ideas for shows that I want to pitch, and I'm working on something, not a full empire, but if I did end up with an empire, like what would be my theme of my thematic empire?
Right.
And I think mine has more to do with sort of like patriarchal, whatever. But like his is patriarchal too, but it's also kind of like it's not he's patriarchal with the men and the women. Like he's both.
Yeah. His approach seems to be, what are you going to do? Not have a patriarchy?
I don't know. Or he is sort of like that because he's like, hey, women can be just as tough as men, but they have to be like men. Or they use their sexuality or whatever. I don't know. Like there's just like the way it's an interesting thematic through line.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
What's not wrong?
His view of America.
If I mean,
exists.
Your interpretation of his view of America.
No, your interpretation.
But I'm not.
Exists. I mean, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah.
That you have to be grown up to live it. That you have to be a grown up to live. You have to be tough.
No, that's not my.
I think it exists. No, that's what you're saying. His view of America is.
I think you have to be tough to live in this world. You know what I mean? But I think I don't think he's saying it because America is fucked. He's saying America is great.
It's sink or swim.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sink or swim. And some people use violence. Some people use wiles.
It's more like ridiculing weaklings than it is saying we all need to, toughen up. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think?
Yeah. I think it's a very white male universe where these guys are unsavory characters, but they're cool and you gotta respect them. And they're always, they're not even anti-heroes. You know what I mean? They're barely they're not Tony Soprano. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. No.
Like you're supposed to like these guys.
No, I feel like they're not anti-heroes because they're not really grappling with anything within themselves.
No, they're not. They really aren't.
No, they are grappling with.
That's a great point.
No, they're grappling with external. It's all external.
Yes.
And the external is relentless. It's fucking relentless.
Yes.
Like, I don't even think it's an episode of Landman until someone dies or gets, like, critically injured at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's every episode I'm like, it's like in Yellowstone. Like, there's so many bodies. And, I mean, there's so many, like, murders in Yellowstone.
A lot of the Taylor Sheridan thing is, the vibe is, everything would be fine if you would just do what I told you to do. If you would just listen to me, everything would have been fine.
I mean,
you brought this on yourself.
The one that we watched where they crossed like the Oregon Trail.
1883?
Yeah. That was like all external too. And that was like, I found it very riveting. Because they were like battling like real external American historical stuff, like what it must, like there was like a idea of like what must this journey have been like.
Yeah, that it must have been horrible,
and it must have been fucking
crossing the country
like
in
brutal,
wagons,
like
and shit.
brutal and like relentless, and kind of devoid, of any true humanity, and I could see that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're heading into like a
heading into Cormac McCarthy territory.
Yeah. Like we are heading like it's society feels like it's collapsing under climate change.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I find like I would never write anything about that. Like all my stuff feels like more internal. Like, like I'm much more like that. I think that's why I find it gets me outside of myself in a way as like a thinking artist person, you know?
Yeah.
And as an actor, I think it's so fun because you're having to be outward all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And so like those scenes are so outward. They're so like, this is happening to me and this is, you know, and this is how I'm going to deal with that. I don't know. Like that's my thing on it. That's my whole Landman thesis, guys.
Ruin it. I don't want to try.
You don't ruin it for me because I
don't want to try to. I don't want you to think I'm trying to talk you out of it.
No, because I actually feel conflicted that it is entertainment that I find endlessly intriguing.
I have to admit, it is extremely watchable. Like you'll turn it on, and then I'll end up watching it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like dialogue in it that's insane. Like in the pilot, like there's a scene where he is like, with his 17-year-old daughter, like, don't make out with that boy. Come get in the bed with me or some shit like that. And I'm like, what? What is that? Like, what care? Like, and in Landman, there's like a fetishization of the dad, like being very disturbed by the sexuality of his daughter.
Yeah.
And the grown men being very disturbed by her very obvious and outward sexuality.
To be fair, she says things to him that are like,
sure,
you wouldn't say that to your dad.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. What is the point of what is the message?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it some reaction to women like taking ownership of their sexuality?
Right.
Is it a masculine?
And for men, it's like, oh, gosh darn it. I guess I can't compete with this. I guess the world is changing and I have to just deal with it.
Well, that's what it feels like. And I'm like, this is an interesting thesis and exploration of these characters. It's so extreme.
Right.
It's so over the top. Like, it's not subtle at all.
Right.
You know, like the daughter just like wearing like a thong in front of like these men that work on oil fields or whatever. Like, it's very weird. Mm-hmm. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's so extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I only ranted about that like in a weird, like neurodivergent way because I had to get my mind off of the fires encroaching on more communities.
Oh, what about Squid Game?
Oh, we binge Squid Game too, you guys.
Squid Game. I almost said squinge.
Talk about violence.
Yeah. I really liked it a lot.
You know, I don't like guns and violence, and it's like that was like the whole thing, but I felt so fictionalized. I was able to and also the whole premise of it is humanity over capitalism. So it's like it felt like I was able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But that is a brilliant show.
But speaking
it is a brilliant show.
Fucked up. We saw a commercial for something that used the Squid Game sets and costumes. It was just a commercial for some fucking thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we saw it together. I can't remember what it was for.
I don't think I saw it.
But they did not use the actors, but they used the costumes of the pink jumpsuits with the masks. They had, what was it for? Because
I don't think I saw this, baby
doll.
Baby doll.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was for. It was like, I think it was like a Domino's fucking ad.
I don't have a recollection of it.
Like one of the Squid Game competitors, just this actor, orders a Domino's pizza and gives it to the person in the pink jumpsuit so that person in the pink jumpsuit gives them like the umbrella from the cookie in that game. It was so weird.
That makes me want pizza.
This show that, it doesn't make me not want pizza.
I want pizza right now.
But this show that's all about how capitalism is destroying us as human beings. It's like, we'll license shit to Domino's. Like, I guess that's Netflix. That has to be their doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was really, I'm going to try to find it. It was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Ugh.
But I did like that. And then I guess we're sort of nearing the end here, but I guess we can do more recommendations because we kind of landed on talking about recommendations because we needed to take our minds off of the current events. But guys, if you get a chance, you gotta see the movie Baby Girl.
Oh man, Baby Girl is something else.
I'm really impressed with the movie Baby Girl. Mm-hmm. How about you?
I am too. It's an amazing performance. Amazing performances.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I have like so many thoughts and like impressions of the themes of Baby Girl. Like I've talked about it endlessly a few times with some people who have seen the movie. And clearly I don't want to spoil anything. So go see it so I can talk about it for like an
check
hour.
it out. It's a very good movie. It's very there's like great sexual tension in it. It's a very hot movie.
It's an erotic movie.
It's an erotic
But the
movie.
erotic movie, oh no, another announcement.
Palisades Fire.
This is the Eaton Fire,
Oh,
which is the one that's closer to us. Oh, it's just the evening update on the Eaton Fire.
Okay.
The Palisades Fire burns toward the 405. Mandatory evacuations ordered for parts of Encino, Brentwood, Getty Center. That was 8 minutes ago.
Okay. I guess we're going to finish this and then turn the news on, right?
I have like over 35 text messages. Yeah, I guess I thought that we were in the eye of the hurricane and that we could have a fun sort of break doing our state. I almost feel like I don't want this to be our episode. Like I want to trash it into another, but we have to do the Southern Charm.
No, there's nothing wrong with this episode. It's fine.
This episode is not giving me the joy that I want to give to our listeners.
I know. But look, guys, it's a weird time. It's a very weird time. And this podcast was born in a weird time, shaped by it.
That's true.
You call yourself
it did come
a
out of
doctor.
the COVID-19 crisis, worldwide
Novel
crisis.
coronavirus.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was that.
So there was that.
Anyway, wherever you guys are in the world, thank you for tuning in with us. I hope you guys are staying safe wherever you are. There might be people who are near these fires. There might be people in other parts of the world, New Orleans. I don't know, like going through tough times that listen to us. And
we appreciate it.
We try to be a comfort to you, but tonight I guess we weren't.
I hope that we were in some way. And I want to say that we really do appreciate a lot of the people that have reached out on social media and stuff, just giving good wishes and, hoping that we're safe. It's really appreciated. And thank you very much.
And a lot of people reached out on our Substack. If you're not already subscribing, we are weekendwater.substack.com. That is sort of the mothership of the HOMEKINS activities. It's where we put out all of our podcasts and our bonus episodes and keep you up to date of what's going on. And you get the ability to comment on the episodes, which people do.
I feel like at this late date in the podcast, it's not entirely tone deaf to say that I have a show happening in March 16th. It's going to be the St. Patrick's Day show at Lodge Room.
Here in Los Angeles.
If everything is still standing, come to that show.
Yeah. Who knows if the Lodge Room will still be there.
Yeah. And it's going to be live streamed as well. And tickets are on sale for both the live show and the live stream right now.
Yeah. Hopefully no more neighborhoods of LA burn down.
Man, I hope not. And
it's already been devastating for so many people.
Yeah.
And our hearts are broken and bleeding for everyone who is suffering through this. And just I hope everyone can find resilience to live in this world.
Yeah.
This is the world that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And climate change does not seem to be getting people's attention.
Well, the problem is the people that are the major causes of it.
They don't want to do anything.
They won't acknowledge it. Yeah.
Well, something Catherine told me today, which kind of freaked me out. She was like, Trump wanting to occupy Canada or whatever is an admission that climate change is real because he wants their water.
Interesting.
So it's like he knows. That's like an admission because otherwise why would you want it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But what does he care personally?
Well, Putin controls all the water. Oligarchs want to control the water.
Yeah.
Because that's how they control everything.
Okay. So you think he's trying to compete with Putin on a water owning scale?
Yes. That's if you want to have all the wealth and power on planet Earth, you fucking go after the water.
Oh, speaking of water, please stop using ChatGPT and any kind of AI server.
I mean,
it's all horseshit, and it's really not helping anything at all.
It's bad enough that I've Googled. I mean, I feel like when I learned that Google had to use water, I was like upset. But like, apparently the AI is so much worse.
It's so much worse.
Which is why they're like looking into nuclear energy and shit.
Beyond just how horrible it is in terms of actual real art and
thinking, your brain.
It's ecologically a nightmare. So
it's like they're just moving too fast with all this stuff. They're just moving so fast.
Yeah, they don't know what
they're
fucking doing. Like
they're moving so fast with it. Like let's use it to fucking solve some problems and not like make emails shorter.
Yeah. If you can't handle an email, come on. No one wants to write emails. Nobody wants to write emails. Look, I don't want to be all Taylor Sheridan here. You got to fucking dig deep and man up and write those emails yourself.
You know what? It's fucking like you got to be a grown up to live in America. And part of that grown up to live in America is to write your own fucking emails.
That's right. And that's from a tough lady
and also,
who does things the way men do them.
Hey, I do them like how I feel. And you know what else? Why don't you just, people who run AI, get off your fucking ass and use AI for easier colonoscopies, preps. How about that?
That's right.
No one cares about a shorter email, but they do care about drinking that disgusting shit and shitting their brains out all night.
Hey, AI, put a flavor in that thing.
Hey, AI. Hey, AI.
Hey, AI, make it taste like grape juice.
Hey, AI, why don't you figure out how to map a fire so it doesn't spread over a fucking neighborhood?
How about that, AI?
How about AI, you get out there and you map that fire and one starts and it's out in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So you see it from space and then we drop water on it before it even goes like fucking bonkers.
Hey, AI.
Hey, AI.
Why don't you reinvent fires so it doesn't hurt anything?
Hey, AI.
Hey, AI.
Hey, AI, why don't you figure out how to fucking stop wars and negotiate peace treaties? How about that?
Yeah.
Fucking people take hostages or occupy territories. Why don't you fucking use your AI, go through history of all the successful negotiations that have ever released whatever, put it in your little fucking chat box and spit it out and fucking get world peace.
Hey, AI.
Because I'm sick of your AI bullshit.
Hey, AI. Why don't you make it so that all wars are just escape rooms, and whoever wins the escape room wins the war?
Exactly.
All right, I think
Why
we did
is that thing? I don't care about these escape rooms.
Well, you don't have to. You're not in the military. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please take care of yourselves and each other. We'll be back next month, and until then.
Wait, and also we are going to have a Southern Charm recap out tomorrow.
That's right.
But until then.
Stay safe, stay sane, and stay strong.
Strong. Oh, now I can't stop the thing. Strong. LA strong.